What is deep learning? Deep learning is a subset of machine learning that uses neural networks with many layers, deep neural networks, to model complex patterns in large datasets. It mimics the way humans learn from experience and is particularly effective in tasks such as image and speech recognition. What is a neural network? A neural network is a computational model inspired by the way biological neural networks in the human brain process information. It consists of interconnected nodes, neurons, organized in layers. An input layer, one or more hidden layers, and an output layer. What are the different types of neural networks? There are several types of neural networks, including feed-forward neural networks, the simplest type where connections between nodes do not form cycles. Convolutional neural networks, CNNs, primarily used for image processing tasks. Recurrent neural networks, RNNs, designed for sequential data, such as time series or natural language. Generative adversarial networks, GANs, composed of two networks, a generator and a discriminator, that compete against each other. What is overfitting and how can it be prevented? Overfitting occurs when a model learns the training data too well, capturing noise and outliers, which negatively impacts its performance on unseen data. It can be prevented using techniques such as regularization, adding a penalty for larger weights, L1 or L2 regularization, dropout, randomly dropping units during training to prevent co-adaptation, early stopping, monitoring validation loss and stopping training when it starts to increase. What is the difference between supervised and unsupervised learning? Supervised learning. The model is trained on labeled data, meaning that the input data is paired with the correct output. Examples include classification and regression tasks. Unsupervised learning. The model is trained on unlabeled data, and it tries to learn the underlying structure or distribution of the data. Examples include clustering and dimensionality reduction. What is a loss function and why is it important? A loss function quantifies how well a model's predictions match the actual data. It is crucial because it guides the optimization process during training. Common loss functions include mean squared error, MSE, for regression tasks and cross-entropy loss for classification tasks. What is backpropagation? Backpropagation is an algorithm used to train neural networks by calculating the gradient of the loss function with respect to each weight by the chain rule. It allows the model to update its weights in the direction that minimizes the loss. What are activation functions and why are they used? Activation functions introduce nonlinearity into the model, allowing it to learn complex patterns. Common activation functions include sigmoid, outputs values between 0 and 1. ReLU, rectified linear unit, outputs the input directly if positive. Otherwise, it outputs 0. TAN, outputs values between -1 and 1. What is transfer learning? Transfer learning is a technique where a pre-trained model on a large dataset is fine-tuned on a smaller, task-specific dataset. This approach can significantly reduce training time and improve performance, especially when labeled data is scarce. What are some popular deep learning frameworks? Some widely used deep learning frameworks include TensorFlow, an open-source library developed by Google for numerical computation and machine learning. PyTorch, an open-source machine learning library developed by Facebook, known for its dynamic computation graph. Keras, a high-level neural networks API that runs on top of TensorFlow, making it easier to build and train models.